Hi, I'm Tova, and I am very excited to be sharing card play with you. Across these videos, I'm going to be talking about what card play is, how to do it, how to work with different card decks, different types of props, as well as give you some activities that you can do on your own to support your own personal growth, self-development. So, kind of this whole central premise with card play is that it largely revolves around working with what I refer to as imagery cards. And there are a lot of different types of imagery cards out there. I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But when we are working with images to explore basically the depths of human experience, you can really begin to understand the truth behind that very common saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So imagery cards are essentially art. And art has a really potent power to unleash emotion. So when we look at art, we typically can feel something. We can feel admiration or awe or fear or uncertainty or disgust. Art has this power to reflect back to us our greatest accomplishments and our strengths, or even our darkest shadows, things that we'd rather not acknowledge, things that we don't even really acknowledge to ourselves generally. When we look at art, or even, and there's a lot of different types of art out there. Of course, I'm largely focusing on imagery. But regardless of the medium, we can see our story mirrored or reflected in someone else's. Art has this power to unveil truths. Those truths can be inspiring, or they can be inconvenient or ugly. They can be profound, they can motivate us, they can encourage us, they can frighten us. These truths can be catalysts for change, or a compass, or a call to action. And so in card play, we're largely using visual prompts, typically in the form of imagery cards. And that's to help you explore the nuances and complexities of your life. So when you work with card play, you can bring your hopes and your dreams, your worries, your fears, your thoughts, and your questions to the cards. It's not divination. So this isn't like a tarot or an oracle process where we're trying to predict something. It's the process of card play is really intended to assist you in discovering your own path and your own truth. And there are a lot of different types of processes embedded in card play, but two that I want to talk about briefly right now are improvisation and collage. And these, again, are also drawing from the world of art and creativity. So, thinking about improv, if you've ever seen an improv show, you know that performers typically will ask for suggestions from the audience, right? And so these performers are very often brilliant and well trained, and they're using prompts from an external source, in this case, the audience, to trigger associations, memories, and related ideas. So similarly, in card play, the props, which are typically cards of some kind, function similarly. The cards, the words, the images, objects even, they're all intended to help you associate your own meanings and connect the dots in ways that are relevant to you. Also, sometimes we have a conversation that sparks an idea or an insight, but we don't always have access to a trusted person with whom we can have a deep conversation with. And so if you use the cards and the props in the ways that I'm going to describe to you, it kind of gives you that experience of getting different perspectives without having another person necessarily be there. And yes, of course, having meaningful relationships and social connections are very important for overall well-being. And some inner work can also be worked through on your own to support you in strengthening your interpersonal relationships. So the other key element that I mentioned is collage. And so when you make a collage, you are integrating bits and pieces from different sources, ultimately creating something that is wholly unique. And so similarly in card play, I'm including multiple types of card decks as well as even objects in some cases in the process. And so again, we can draw on and integrate inspiration from a variety of sources. And so ultimately, when we're using improv and collage, we are extending our own individual minds. We're not just sitting there staring at a blank page, trying to figure out our life all by ourselves. We're not forcing friends and loved ones to show us our blind spots and give us different perspectives or give us advice. That is kind of the purpose of the cards and the props.